I want to recommend that you watch a brilliant little documentary called Cyberpunk, which was released in 1990. It's only about an hour in length. As you might imagine, it it depicts it studies the phenomenon, the literary genre, and then subsequent cultural movement, which is known as cyberpunk. I think it's important to note this documentary really distills quite lucidly why it was considered such an exciting and riveting phenomenon at the time, and why people feel as though the because you'd often read about people would call the mid 90s 1995 the death of cyberpunk due to the existence of films like, say, Johnny Mnemonic with Keanu Reeves, and some other, I guess, less than stellar titles which would have come out that year. Strange Days not amongst them. That's quite a good film, I think. It was considered so now. I don't know if it was incredibly like it at the time, but anyway, and so you get why people thought Cyberpunk was this really exciting sort of quasi, this great big epoch moment, a bit like that old what's sometimes derided as that Age of Aquarius moment in the 60s. And sure enough, Timothy Leary was excited about this moment in time, and he's interviewed in this film along with the main subject is William Gibson, obviously. And what's really interesting is you get why so many were attached to cyberpunk as a concept at the time, why they feel as though it degraded and became reduced to a sort of surface level aesthetic, which is what we understand cyberpunk to be now. I mean, that video game, Cyberpunk 2077, that was just entirely sold on do badass Assassin's Creed-esque things in this environment. There was already a game called, was it Watch Dogs? I think that was considered a failure ultimately, but then so was the Cyberpunk 2077 game. I'm not much into video games at this point. After 2011, I sort of clocked out of video games as it happened. Not for any particular reason. Oh well, I just sort of became less excited by them. I think after Skyrim, I was kind of done. I was like, that's everything I need in a game. Hang the hat up and start delving into movies doubly so. And I got into recorded music a lot more around that time. There's a great album you should all listen to by a fellow named Turquoise Death. It is called, came out July this year. Yeah, Guardian. Turquoise Death Guardian. That's magnificent stuff. Anyway, yeah, it's one of the more exciting documentaries, I don't know if I've ever seen, but yeah, kind of. Because Cyberpunk at one time was this like almost psychedelic, like, let's not use the term psychedelic, cyberdelic phenomenon. It's kind of gone now. Strangely enough, the world became this horrifying, kind of wicked dystopian place. But except it's not cool, and we're not like super badass hackers or anything like that. We're all pathetic observers who sort of just like sort of pantomime participating in the society, posting comments on the internet, which don't really make a splash. I mean, you can be popular on Twitter/X for a day or so, but then they'll come after you eventually. Everyone's trying to, no one wants to solve issues. They just want to be credited with solving issues rather. I think in the sort of Twitter social media context, that's a problem with a lot of movements. Actually, it's a lot of people in movements. They seemingly their condition for the movement succeeding is that they're in charge of it, and I think that's a little bit disturbing. It's like if the movement succeeded, but you were sort of a maybe less significant individual in the context of the change, and you're not happy about that, it's a little bit creepy, in my opinion. But this just it's an extraordinary little documentary, and I imagine you could have made better use of your time by turning off this video in the midway mark and already starting to watch it. The screen caps have sold you on it. I may as well end this video here. I just think it's important to, again, note that what Cyberpunk was then and what Cyberpunk is now are sort of very distinct things. and you can understand easily why people were so enchanted by that world at that time and felt as though it disintegrated, and how it corresponds to their views on the world becoming more miserable in general. How the if you will, dimension of the future will disappear, as K Punk pointed out. I mean, this is, he could have shared this as a blog post, and it would have been like, him distilling, like, yes, everything that's alien and unfamiliar about the world that this documentary presents compared to the now. That's everything, I'm railing against. But alas, yeah, we'll close it here. Thank you, everyone, immensely.